Okay, hi everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. I just want to tell you about a really cool add-on that I recently discovered called Pear Deck. I actually enabled it on all of your Google slides. So you may notice that it now appears on the top. And I want to kind of explain to you what it is. It's actually a very cool way of making your class a lot more interactive and engaged by also, as I said, fostering real learning. So how do you do it? So you're going to go into Global Slides and you're going to see Pear Deck, and all you need to do is click on it. And on the side, you're going to launch your Pear Deck, I guess, features, okay? And this is how you're going to basically build your class using the Pear Deck kind of features if you want to kind of make it more interactive. I want to just show you what it looks like on a slide that's complete. So this was my lesson that I did on figurative language. And interspersed throughout the lesson, I basically put some of these interactive slides. So I wanted to kind of like start off by kind of giving, almost at the beginning of the lesson, asking students, what's the difference between figurative and literal language? So I put in this slide that kind of enabled them to either draw, if they want to write anything, and I'm going to show you what it looks like during a real live class. Then I kind of have my, regular slides interspersed, and I'm like, okay, I now want to find out, did they listen to me? Did they hear anything that I said? And I'm going to throw out a question. And on their end, they have to answer, write whether or not my example was a simile. So what's also very cool is that I actually kind of can write presenter notes. And on the bottom, I actually wrote the simile that I wanted to ask the students that I would remember. And then they had to kind of just respond yes or no. So I kind of created a few of these interactive options for them. And then I was like, okay, now I want them to come up with their own simile. Again, by the way, this kind of bar on the bottom lets you know that this is one of the Pear Deck interactive slides. And on their end, they're actually going to be able to come up with their own simile. I then later on in the class actually asked them a multiple choice question. And it's very, very cool. And it's also very easy to insert this type of content throughout your slides. So what do you do? So you can ask kind of like a regular question, ask the students a question, and then just a regular true or false. But what I think is actually very cool, what I recommend is actually using their template library. So I actually like the during lesson ones the most. And let's say for this one, is the statement true or false? So it's very easy actually to just kind of edit these words, kind of like go with how you wanted them to go. So in this case, I kind of like put in a simile and metaphor. But then you just kind of want to make sure that what the students ends on their end, that they actually see the right words. So you're going to go back. And then this is kind of like making the slide actually interactive. Okay. And now I added an interactive question. So now this is actually going to be an interactive slide. Okay, now let's say I wanted to add like a multiple choice question. Again, you are the teacher, so you're kind of like giving them the verbal instructions a lot of times. So you don't necessarily have to actually write the actual question on the slide that they're going to see. Let's say I want to ask a multiple choice. Here's a multiple choice slide. Some of them are better than others. Let's say I want to write, is this an example? Is this an example of figurative language? And then I'm going to go back and I'm actually going to add the multiple choice options. And here I'm going to write simile, metaphor, both, or none. Okay, so what does this look like on the student end? So basically what happens is that you as a teacher have your slides and then you share with the students their own version of it. So I'm actually going to start the lesson. Okay, so I'm going to click start lesson. Because I'm doing this as a live class, I'm going to click instructor-based activity. So they actually kind of tell you how you can have your own teacher dashboard on a separate device if it's easier for you. If you have like a million different devices, it's actually also just easier in terms of viewing it. But I'm going to just click on X on that right now. So, okay, so it tells the students, okay, so I'm going to project this on my screen through Zoom. I'm going to tell them, okay, go to joinpd.com. Okay, and then I'm going to say, okay, your codes are XDWDT. Okay, and now the student has officially and given access to my slides. So you may, the one thing I was a little bit concerned about kind of like going into this kind of class was that the students aren't really going to be, they're going to be kind of like looking at their own slides while I have my own slides, but they're still hearing my voice. They still at the corner of the screen have like the picture of me, as with speaker view. And it actually kept them even more engaged because throughout the lesson, I kind of had questions that they had to answer. Okay, so what's the difference between figurative literal language? This is the student view, so they can kind of start writing or they can kind of highlight it or draw. And what does it look like on the teacher end? Okay, so notice, okay, I see I have one student connected. Okay, so on the bottom, this is my teacher dashboard. I can actually show the responses. Okay, I see someone wrote gibberish, or I could hide responses. What's also great about this is if I know that there are 19 students in this class, I'm waiting for 19 responses. Okay, I'm going to continue teaching my lesson. Again, notice students have it's a little bit of a lag. For some reason, the students have the same slides as I do. Okay, now I'm kind of bringing them a question. Is this an example of a sample of a simile? Yes or no? So I'm going to show my responses. Okay, I don't have anyone responding yet. It doesn't work so well for some reason on Internet Explorer. I don't know. Normally they should have the more interactive slide, but for some reason they don't have it. I'm going to click yes. Great. I have one student who responded yes. Okay. I'm going to flip through. They can answer again. Now I want them to come up with their own simile. He was as sweet as sugar. Okay. And now show responses. He was as sweet as sugar. And then let's say I wanted to ask them a multiple choice question. Okay, what type of figure language is being used? It's raining. Let's say I'm telling them, okay, it's raining cats or dogs. Tell me what type of figure language it is. It's actually none. So I'm going to click on none. And then I'm going to go back to the teacher slide. And okay, one person responded none. I was initially very nervous about this, kind of like to see how it would go, and it was awesome. The students all gave me the feedback that they definitely wanted to do this again. It definitely, took time to build, but I definitely feel like the effort was definitely, paid and was really very effective. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Have a